How does one live well? We only appear in this world briefly, for just a fleeting moment in the grand scheme of all existence, yet we live as if it's never going to end, squandering every opportunity to live well. A lot of us are on this relentless pursuit of what can never satisfy us, the dopaminergic chase for what we think we need, and then when we find it, we're just not satisfied when we get it. It's all very fleeting. The only thing that satisfies is life unfolding here and now. Satisfaction is rooted here in the present. Power is found in simple presence, where we are no longer mentally lost and dissociated in the imaginal realms of the waking dream. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jess and you are watching Living Free. And this is where we share some encouragement to become liberated from the various traps in life. So please support this work if you are finding some value here. Now the Stoics, specifically Marcus Aurelius, entreated us to confine yourself to the present. And so did the Buddha. He taught that we shouldn't be caught in dreams of the future, which are simply just imaginations. These philosophies point out that a good life is built moment by moment, when we consciously agree to engage with life unfolding here and now. These traditions teach us that adhering to a certain set of core values can guide us to living and acting honorably. And these values are found in the four virtues of Stoicism, and they include wisdom and courage and justice and moderation. And the Buddhist follows the eightfold path that consists of right understanding and right thought, right path, right actions, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These serve as guidelines for living well without being caught up in the allure of the chase for what does not satisfy when we are over-identified with that externalized mind. So our time here is finite, and we as these particular human beings will expire not far from now. And while we are in the here and now of our lives, it can seem short or it can seem long, depending on what your orientation is. Seneca said, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it." And he also said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." So being mindful of our finite nature is imperative to living well. Our impermanence is not something to be fearful or resistant toward. Instead, in full acceptance of it, we should prioritize what's here and now and discover the meaning that is actually unfolding in this precise moment, not by overanalyzing it or judging it, but rather by simply allowing it all. So this is the practice of living well, when we teach our minds to be retained here and now and not in rumination and dissociation. We find that we are more resilient to handle the realities of life that unfold instead of collapsing under fear or collapsing under trepidation and trauma. So when we learn how to stand up within ourselves, we are fully present in ourselves, fully present in mind and body. So what does living well actually look like? How is it experienced? Simplicity is in stripping away everything that is extra, the non-essentials of our life, the things that only serve to complicate everything, all the things that serve to add this sort of layer of stress, of anxiety, and of drama that we just don't need. Only you can determine what that actually means to you. It could be a role you play. It could be a job you have. It could be things that you have. It could be certain relationships you're in. Whatever has caught you in some sort of way that isn't serving your joy. So most of us do reach a point in our lives in what could be deemed as an existential crisis. Life often leads us to this point. It's that point where we experience desperation. We experience that end of the rope. So we get to that place where we're finally willing to surrender and to find a better way, to surrender all those old habits, those old belief patterns. And this is the point in our lives where we can become extremely disoriented. The good news is that it's also the beginning of a transformation period, a period of renewal, if we are willing. It comes out of finally surrendering, of finally accepting. I know a lot of this audience is in addiction recovery, so if you know, you know. So when we accept that we can't control life by resisting it, we learn that our resistance and that need for control are just adding a sort of unnecessary tension to our lives. But things will change and healing will happen as soon as we stop refusing life and start allowing it. And if we practice non-attachment and self-exploration through mindfulness and through meditation, we can then find that our own personal insight or revelations start changing those old hardwired thinking patterns. When we start accessing that inherent wisdom that has been hidden from us up until now. So if we're willing to change our mental orientation, we can discover new ways to navigate life and the world. Our new orientation is in presence, in immediate beingness. This is what allows us to live intentionally and with more integrity towards ourselves, where we're no longer going to betray ourselves as our personal values start being lived out authentically. So, a life well lived is in being, in remembering our finite nature, in simplifying, in addressing what is wise and what is prudent for the sake of this moment. We can stop feeling all that angst and all that pressure of never being satisfied. Up until this point, most of us have lived a life passive to every whim and to every impulse, to every urge, to every compulsion. And this is why we are unhappy. These are all the products of being over-identified with the externalized mind. Stop refusing to live a better life. Stop doubting and start believing. So I encourage you to wake up to the fullness, to the richness of life now, to be available to life as it unfolds now, to experience those rich possibilities that maybe you didn't notice before, to bask in simplicity, to cultivate wonder and awe, and to receive this life as it is. Life passes us quickly when we are not mentally present in it, and we are in that sort of waking dream or the dream state. Much of what is in the modern world these days encourages us to stay in that dream of unhappiness, of unsatisfactoriness, that dream of fear and of shame and of regret. So today, be emboldened to awaken into wholeness, to know that at the end of your human life, you have lived well. So I hope you found some encouragement in today's video. Please show your support if you did. I appreciate all of you for being here with me. Live well, my friends, and I will see you next time.